Hi everybody, I'm here to talk about how Roblox works and give some lessons for game developers. So first, I would like to go through a short introduction of myself and the company I represent. And then we go through what is Roblox as a platform, and then Roblox developer business model for basically game developers. How can you make business on the platform? So let's start about me, so you know a bit background. So my name is Olli Raudus, and I've been in the industry since 2017, so about 8 years now. Before this company, I co-founded 2 other game companies, and those were Lunarbyte and Skunkworks. And on those companies, we make mobile games. And after closing those companies in 2022, I founded All Hats together with my co-founder Simo, because we wanted to do something different but still stay in the games. And currently I'm the CEO and co-founder of All Hats. So yeah, briefly about All Hats. So we are a team of 5. We are established in 2023, as I said. We're based in Helsinki. We're operating fully remotely, and we make branded and original Roblox games. So what does it mean? Branded games means that there's an IP holder or a brand. For example, these example games we have on the screen, we have Yle, the Finnish national broadcasting company. So they want to have a game on the platform or some presence there. So our job is then to make that happen there. And I'll tell more about this later in the later slides, but basically that's how we make our money at the moment. But then, of course, our dream is to make our own games successful enough that they'll pay the bills eventually. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that as well later, so we can move on, talk about what is Roblox then. So, Roblox is a US-based corporation, first of all. It's already founded in 2004, so it's more than 20 years old company. So many people maybe think that it's just a recent thing, but it actually co-founded already then. And the most important thing about it is that it's a social game platform, not a game. So it's good to know what's the difference. So Roblox themselves don't make any games on their platform. It's all us creators making the stuff there. So if you compare it to Minecraft or Fortnite, they are like game first, and then you can create on top of that. But on Roblox, it's a platform first and a game engine, and then you build whatever you want. So you can think of it as like YouTube, but for games. That's an easy way to think about it, how it works. And everything is always streamed. So you only download the app, like you download YouTube app, then you can stream all the videos. You download Roblox app, and then you can play the games. They are all streamed to your device. And it is playable on almost all devices that's used for gaming, except Nintendo. So it is available on iOS, Android, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and even on VR. But yeah, it's mostly played on mobile devices, of course, and then PC is quite big as well. All right, so now that we know the basics of what is it about, then I'd like to show some numbers to kind of like emphasize the scale of things. And these graphs I have here are taken from their Q3 result release report from a couple of weeks ago. And so this is officially from their corporation. So here I'd like to highlight the DAUs, which is daily active users of the platform. So when we started in 2023, it had 66 million average daily active users on the Roblox platform as a whole. And then you can see this year how how enormous the scale, the growth has been, that basically during this last quarter, there was average 151 million players logging in every day to the platform. So it has already grown this year for almost 70 million daily active users, and that's a huge growth for a company that's already as big as Roblox. So there is a certain kind of hockey stick trajectory on this graph at least. So then who are these players then? They're mainly, they used to be mainly from US and Canada for many years ago, but now it's been more and more global. So I've highlighted on the left side the distribution at the moment for Europe, Asia Pacific, rest of the world, and the US, Canada. And it's quite evenly grown. You can see those small numbers on the bottom. That's basically just like year-on-year growth. And that tells basically that the Asia has grown a lot. And that's mostly due to Roblox investing a lot in their infrastructure because they have their own servers. So they made it way better to play in Asian countries recently. And that can be seen there. In addition to that, they've made a lot of changes in the dynamic pricing, for example, so it's more accessible for everyone around the world. So it's not just the US pricing anymore in the products. And by age group, Roblox is mainly thought of as a kids platform. And as you can see, it's still 1/3 of the players are under 13-year-old, but also the most fastest growing category of players is 13 and up, and especially the 17 and up. So this happens naturally as the kids have started playing platform already 10 years ago or something, and now they are growing up, so these graphs go up as well. But in addition to that, of course, they also attract more players from older ages as well. All right. Well, how much time they spend then? And this is also quite drastic growth in the last quarter. So it's average almost 3 hours per player per day. So the average user on Roblox, they really play Roblox a lot. So, and I think this is due to being more than just a game or gaming platform. It's also like a third place or something like that for this generation of younger people. They hang out there, they chat, they play. It's kind of becoming an everything app for some users almost. So growth there a lot. And this is, of course, these big numbers is massively happened this year because of so many hit games on the platform. So they attracted a lot of new users from viral videos or clips on other social media platforms, and then they were engaging. So a lot of time spent. Okay, so what are these games then? Here's a couple of examples of largest games of 2025. Not just Roblox games, but games of 2025 in terms of concurrent users and player base. So these three examples are 99 Nights in the Forest in the left. In the center we have Steal a Brain Rot, and on the right we have Grow a Garden. And Grow a Garden is the one who started this trend. And you can see there's a peak CCU, that means concurrent users. So these games have like 20+ million concurrent users at their peak. They average somewhere in million and two, but this kind of peak is the biggest in the industry. The last record was with Fortnite when they released some kind of event that I don't remember, but they had 14 million back then, a couple of years ago. But yeah, these games attract a lot of players concurrently, and how they do it is they organize this live event every weekend. So basically it happens that every Saturday they push an update, and then there's like exclusive rewards on that like 1 hour time slot before the update or something like that. So that attracts a lot of players thanks to fear of missing out. That's how they did it this year, but I predict that it's probably gonna slow down a bit because it's quite tiring if every weekend you have to be playing. The players might get tired. And now that every game, not every, but many games doing it, so it's kind of becoming competitive. But yeah, anyway, these games have been very big and part of the growth of the platform as in general. All right, then how does the money look then? So this graph is basically showing last year. So the platform itself, Roblox Corporation, made $3.6 billion US. And then they paid creators $922 million. So approximately 25% of the platform revenue goes to the user. We'll dive deeper later into the monetization and how that money is split in and where does it go. But this can already tell it's 25%. So this is the growth year over year. So it has grown a lot in the past few years. But then this is another slide from their presentation a couple of weeks ago, which already shows that more than $1 billion has been paid this year for the users. So it's already, last year's record was 900 million for the whole year. Now the 3 quarters already beat that. So because players spend more money on the platform, the developers can change it as well. So yeah, a lot of growth there as well. Very exciting times. All right. Then you might want to know, like, how do you get your piece of this pie that is growing and how you can make it even bigger. That's at least what we try to do. So how can you make business on Roblox? Let's go. This is for the game developers mainly. Like, you can do other stuff as well, but us game developers, how can we do it? So the obvious one is, of course, make popular experiences. And on Roblox, we call games experiences. That is, for a reason I'm not sure of, but at least they've changed it over time, and then now it's experience, but basically they are games most of the time. So experiences, or make popular UGC items. UGC means user-generated content, and you can sell those stuff on Roblox. We go through that in a bit. Or then you can work with brands and IP holders like we do, and that's like something like, if you know how to make the games, but you don't necessarily have like a popular game that generates revenue, you can still basically sell your expertise on how to do this, and someone will pay for that. But yeah, okay, let's go through the business model a bit deeper. So I've used an example free-to-play business model, but on Roblox you can also make premium games, but I'm trying to explain like what's the difference between making a free-to-play game on any platform or versus making a game on Roblox platform. So the process usually goes like this, that you make a game, then you will get some players one way or another, then the players will spend money in the game, the platform takes the money, so in this case Roblox, on mobile games it's Google Play or App Store, on Steam it's Steam, and then they take their cut and then they pay your cut. So this is how it works with most of the games these days, but then Roblox adds one more layer to this, is that you'll exchange the currency into US dollars. So Roblox will pay your cut as Robux, which is their own platform currency. So then you still need to go through this exchange process that you can cash out from the platform. Otherwise, the business model is same as making any other game. And then I'd like to go this step by step briefly, so you know how to do it. As an example, we use on Roblox we use Roblox Studio, which is their engine, and it has this kind of opening page. This is a bit old screenshot. It has updated since this, but basically you can choose a template or just go with the empty base plate and start building, and then you create the experience, and then you have a window like this. There's this spawn location on the center of the screen. But as you can see, it kind of looks like any other game engine. It has like top bar, all kind of tools. You can build stuff. There's Explorer on the right, and then you can change properties and everything. It's basically game engine as any other one. But the difference here is that it is all on cloud. So all the development happens in cloud, so you don't have a local file. So you have to have internet connection to do this, to make games. But then again, since it's all in cloud, if you are together working with a friend or colleague, you can see each other in this scene at the same time. You can move blocks and you can see other player moving them. So it's very, very collaborative way of building. And that's basically what initially got us kind of hooked on the development side, because it was so seamless compared to what we've used to, where we build our game and then we push and pull and commit and build and this stuff that usually happens with game development. And then here it just simplified. You just do stuff and press team test and you can immediately start playing the game with your colleague. So it's quite like rapid in terms of that. So the process is simple. You create the game, then you build the game. That takes the time, of course, because you need to import the assets and design and code and etc. That's the time that we all like to do. That's what takes most of the time. Then you go, open file, publish, press publish, and then it's there in the platform. So it's this simple, basically. Of course, there are always some layers to this, like when you upload images or assets, it goes through this AI-based moderation during the development already. So it catches if you try to put pictures of people, you cannot do that, for example. So it happens during the development, this kind of like moderation part. But yeah, that's how it goes, and that's also one reason why these successful games are able to push these updates in the weekends, that they'll do very much live everything because they can. All right, then a couple of pros and cons for this. So of course it's extremely fast, as I said, and then the engine itself is very good. It's better than you would think. Basically, I would say it's on par with Unity and Unreal. So you can do almost any kind of game on the platform already. But why do the games always look like those Lego characters? It's mostly because the user base want them to look like that. It's like that's their thing. They want the games most of the time look like that. But of course, you can do anything. But yeah, and then of course, everything you do with Roblox Studio must be published on Roblox platform. You cannot take it out and publish it on Steam, for example. It's always all there. Use their infrastructure and everything. But you do own the IP, so you can take the assets, like 3D assets, of course, you can take and bring the game designer. You could use them elsewhere, but the project cannot be just transferred. Yep. All right, that's about making the game. Now we have a game. Of course, we want to have someone to play the game. You need to get players. This is one way to get players. So Roblox platform offers Ads Manager. So like when we made mobile games, you used to have do marketing on like Facebook or TikTok or any social media or other games. But on Roblox, you can still do that, but they also offer their own ads manager, which means that you can run campaigns within the platform. And then like on the right side of the screen, you can see that's like a sponsored section of the front page. That's one way to get seen. And then also there's a couple of examples of this 3D world ads that you can place in your game, or you can use to travel to other games. So like this kind of billboard, you can advertise your game, or you can also advertise something else for bigger brands. Or then like this kind of portal ad that you can see an ad, there's a video about your game, and then the player can just walk through the portal and instantly teleport to your game. So this is one way to get players. And I have to say that this is way cheaper than it is on other platforms at the moment, and we are talking about a couple of cents of cost per play at the moment. So it's not cost per install as it is on mobile games, but on Roblox it's cost per play because you don't install anything, you just play. But of course it is then, as that can be seen in the benchmark retention numbers, that people easier hop from games to games because it's so easy and they don't go through the pain of installing something and it's on your phone. So there are caveats on that. But anyway, you can get players within the platform. And funny thing, you can use Robux to advertise as well. So if your game makes money, Roblox pays you on Robux. And before you exchange it to dollars, you can put it back to the engine and you spend it on marketing. So that is possible as well. All right, let's go through some monetization. How can you monetize your game? Of course, we can do in-app purchases. So on Roblox, they are called developer products or game passes. So players, first they can buy Robux from the platform itself, or like from a store here at a kiosk, or in any store they can buy these gift cards that have Robux in them. And then they spend that Robux in your game, in this in-app purchases. That's one way. Then you can show ads like we just talked about. Then there is this creator rewards, which is quite interesting. This is new addition this year. And how does it work is that Roblox pays creator rewards for a certain group of developers that have made games that bring the players back to the platform. So basically, if you have a game that, if a user opens Roblox and the first thing is that they come play your game and they play for 10 minutes or more, you will be rewarded based on creator rewards, as an example. And they will count the first 3 games or something, that if those are the games that keeps bringing players back to the platform, you will be rewarded through this creator rewards. This used to be called engagement-based payout, which meant that it just checked how long players spend in your game, but then they changed it this year to be more like rewarding the retention. And then you can put subscriptions in there. So this is something that not many developers have yet used effectively, but this is like very interesting that you can make your game subscription-based. Yep. Okay, then we have these 3 basically in the same lump. So all about the cut and how does it go, and yeah. So this is how it goes. So user buys Robux. That's how, like I said, from anywhere, and then they spend Robux in a game, in your game or other games. You'll get the cut if it's in your game. And then that Robux is split that point that, okay, you will earn some part of it. Then Roblox will take some part of it to cover the costs of the platform, and then they take also their part for their platform investment and their share. Of course, they want to make profit. And then when you get the Robux on your account, then like I said, you can spend it on platform. So you can put it back to advertising, or then if you want, you can go buy very nice clothes for your avatar. So it's like If that's what you want to do, you can, or you can spend it on other games as well. And then you can participate in DevX. DevX is Developer Exchange, but basically it means that that's the program the word they use to convert it to US dollars. And this is like a monthly thing that you can request that, hey, I have 1 million Robux, I'd like to convert these to US dollars, and then every month they do payouts for these developers. All right, then we can go through the cut. So this is usually something that shocks many game developers, that how much it takes in general, where does the money go, and like how can you even make business with this size of a cut? But it's quite interesting talking point usually for me. So DevX, like I talked, it's 25%. Then they have allocated 3% for these creator rewards. Then app stores and payment processing fees. Basically, if a user buys Robux through App Store, like if they play on iOS and they buy through App Store, then there will be a 30% cut to Apple, and then on Google Play, of course, for Google. But then this is only 22 because some players buy it on PC or through this gift card, so it is getting lower. This is something that Roblox kind of battles all the time to get this part lower. Then platform hosting and support. This is basically all the server fees, because like these games that have 20 million concurrent users, that's quite a load of players for servers, and traditionally that would cost quite a lot for the developer to host that amount of players through AWS or other services. But that's all covered for us Roblox developers, but it is paid here through this monetization of the user. And then 15% is platform investment, and then they have the 17% share. So these numbers tend to change over time. It was different a couple of years ago. I mean, the developer share is the same, but like how much they put for platform investment was bigger than the Roblox share, but now it's even out a bit more, since they put a lot already for the data centers, which are not very cheap to build. But yeah, that's basically it. So from the $10 users spend on Roblox, developer will get 2.5, and the rest will go there. That's how it is. Okay, again, we can go through a bit of like other ways to earn on Roblox. So like I mentioned in the beginning, that you can make the popular games. You can also make popular UGC assets. And these UGC assets mainly are like 3D models or skins or animation or anything like that. So how does it work is that there is you can publish like let's say a hat that you can sell on Roblox, and then you can sell it on their own marketplace, which is like on the website. Or then there can be an experience like a game where you can also put it for sale, or like you can put it to be available for developers to sell your stuff basically in their games. So how does it work then is that your asset is sold in multiple places, and you can also sell it in your own game as well. So the cut will be that 30% will always go to the creator who originally published the item, 30% will go to the Roblox platform, and then 40% will go to the affiliate. And this means like who sold the item. So if it's sold in the Roblox marketplace, Roblox will take that 40%. And if it's sold in your game, you'll get that 40 plus 30% then. Or then if another developer sells them, they'll get the 40%. And this is one way that some experiences actually make money, that they've created just an avatar editor experience where you can browse the catalog and try out those items on your character before buying. And then if you buy it directly from their experience, they will get 40% from that sale. but that is very good for the players because they love to try out new things and clothes and play it before they buy. So this is like another way of like developers solving this kind of like issue for players, and then they are getting paid from this way. And then, of course, if you're really into making tools, you can make studio plugins. That has a better cut for you. It's 90% for you and 10% for Roblox. But of course, the developer base is very smaller. But I could imagine that if you really like to make some great improvements that makes the life of a developer easier, people will buy it. But not sure about how that scales. But for example, we have used like some data store editors, for example, or some other plugins that we paid for. Yeah. And then here's a small, like a screenshot of the Roblox marketplace, how it kind of looks like. This is just that I just see in their website that, okay, this is kind of stuff that people have made. This is not made by Roblox. Sometimes there are stuff that Roblox makes, but then users make this, publish them on the platform, and sell it for Robux. That's the way. If you're really into 3D modeling or making textures or animations, you can make your own pack or individual asset, even put it for sale. Of course, then there is discoverability. That how is it found? But you can do that, and some people make a good living from this. All right. Then towards the end, one way I just wanted to say that one way is to make business is that to make experiences or some kind of collaboration with brands. So Roblox is so big that many big companies want to tap into that market because Roblox kind of owns Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So they have of that 3 hours average per day time spent, so they want to get the share of that, or at least they need to have their brand present on the platform, which means there are multiple ways you can make this kind of experience, that own game around stuff like these examples here, that there's an IKEA game where you can like be an employee at IKEA. And some other games like this Vans World is a skating game, so it kind of fits with their brand as well. So that's one way. Or then you can have this like in the previous photo. There's not an example on this one, but there's, for example, now Adidas have their own animation pack or clothes that are official Adidas clothes sold on Roblox. So that's one way that like we could make. Like for a Finnish clothing brand, we could make some clothes that is put for sale for the avatars, for example. And that way you get accustomed to the brand. But yeah, this is just a couple of examples from what we've done. So this is the biggest ones. This year we made this K-Market experience, this anti-bullying campaign, which was live for the campaign was live for 3 weeks. The game was open further, but these numbers are from the 3 weeks mark. And it got 180,000 visits. It always tracks a visit when a player opened the game and again. But then in our data, we can see that there was more than 100,000 unique users from Finland who came to visit in this place. So the number can tell that there's not much like retention, but the average user came there 1.8 times. But there's a lot of reach in terms like K-Market reached 100,000 Roblox players that are almost all from Finland. So it was pretty successful in that terms. And then Linnajuhlat is the Finnish Independence Day party we have in the presidential castle that we also have in Roblox. And that has been done for 3 years now. Will most likely be this year as well in a month. That is only open for a couple of hours during the 6th of December. And that as well had more than 50,000 unique users last year. So that resonated quite well with the audience. And yeah, interesting thing about that is that I can tell that when the adults watch the TV show of people handshaking in the presidential castle, it's easy to say the kids that go play Roblox so they can focus on seeing the people there. And then they mentioned that last year in TV that, hey, by the way, there is also a Roblox experience for this. And then like a couple minutes after that, we can see a big spike in the user base. So it was really effective. So that was good, like one way of transmedia. All right, and then this is my last slide before the questions. So just wanted to give some key takeaways. Just to say that Roblox is here to stay, and there's no sign of stopping, at least based on the numbers and the growth I saw in the earlier stage, that at least there's a lot of demand from player base, that it is growing a lot. It's very massive, and it's mostly younger generations for now, but these generations will grow, obviously, and if Roblox can keep them, it's gonna be like probably gonna shift around towards more profitability because of more buying power from these generations as well. And then they do, from developers' perspective, they do a lot of improvements on the engine side all the time. So, and it feels like when we talk to them in a conference or chat, they listen to us. At least I get a feeling that they listen to us and they make good changes for the platform. So they're improving the performance and the safety, and then like enabling more bigger and more ambitious games as well. So very exciting time to be a Roblox developer, and can't wait to see where the platform goes and where it takes us. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Olli. That was super informative. Thanks for kind of giving us the good kind of a concise information of a platform, but we probably are not the users of that much.
No, not yet, maybe, but maybe there will be some content that is exciting. For me, yeah. I'm not playing there after work, but maybe someday I will.
Yeah, so there we have several generations now in digital games playing, so it is definitely kind of harder to get into the newer phenomenon the older you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going for the questions, so the audience, if you have any questions, just be ready. I'll start with the very basic one, is that, Olli, why did you get into Roblox? Like all of the things that you could do, why exactly Roblox and now?
No, thank you. That's a good question. Like, why would I do that? So yeah, as I told, we made mobile games, the past two companies, and then when we closed the previous company, we felt like we want to make games, we want to stay entrepreneurs, but we didn't know exactly what. But we wanted to do to a different audience. So that was a big thing, that we used to make this generic mobile game for middle-aged American women. So we wanted to do something else and see how it is. And then there was just a guy during Slush that hyped Roblox to me, and I said, yeah, you should do that, it's amazing. And I was like, okay, well, Then we tested out, because we didn't have anything else planned, and we tried the engine, and as I told, we got hooked to the development part, that it's so seamless. And we're like, okay, this is kind of fun to make games with. And then it started like rolling from there, snowballing.
Yeah. So you got hooked also from the development side, which is sort of like interesting.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun to start the development, yeah.
So they finished that. Before we go to the audience questions, I want to sort of like tap more deeper into that. You already explained us a little bit of how the production goes. But in terms of the bread and butter of making games, iterations, design decisions, is there things that differ when you use Roblox as a platform for making games, or is it like just generally what you make games? How do you test the games? How do you come up with ideas?
Yeah. I would say in general the same skills are used basically on a high level. Like if you know how to code, you can code on Roblox. If you know how to make 3D models, you can bring them on Roblox, and game design is basically the same. But then, of course, when you come to a platform like this, you should understand like that the users behave differently, what they are used to play, and it's like everything is streamed, and then you have all these amazing tools to make it a multiplayer, basically for free. Like you don't have to invest in infrastructure. You can just put it out, and it's already a multiplayer game. So it's cheap to make games that is normally more expensive on other platforms. Of course, maybe Teemu will in the next set that it's just fine. But like in Roblox, we don't have to think about that scalability. So you can take that into account when you do decisions.
Is there some kind of like a testing ground for getting like a soft launch type of things for the games?
Yes and no. You can publish it like privately, and then you can open it for like a group only. But then that requires some tricks, more knowledge on the platform. But otherwise, when you put it public, it's there. But of course, nobody will find it unless you market it, or so. You can test it with small user base, but then if it's actually a good game, the algorithm might pick it up and start recommending it to others.
That's a little bit scary. Let's go for the audience question. Wait for the mic to come to you, please.
Hi, I'm Chan. I probably maybe the only person that does play Roblox time to time. Me and my friends made a fake wedding for my friend in Roblox back in like middle school for me, which is like 8 years ago. Yeah, back when I was like 10. I was gonna first, because of that, I was gonna ask, can you upload 3D models to the market? I thought you had to buy the Builders Club. Did they change that? You can just anybody can do that now?
It's changed now. It's way more open.
That's wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna ask, if I recall correctly, when you after you gain Robux, when you transfer into real money, I think if we were to set the Robux's USD to Robux rate from purchasing Robux, the USD, let me rephrase it. The USD to Robux rate is higher when purchasing than converting, if I remember correctly.
So like
the markets, yeah.
So like with 100 euros, you get like 11,000 Robux, but with 11,000, you don't get 100 euros. Is that kind of like?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
okay.
how it is. Like definitely, you will get like maybe 30.
Was
Robux,
that taken account
euros.
in the cut section, or?
Yeah, it's basically that's the effect of all that cut, how it's gonna be.
Like on top of the first platform taking, I guess that is the platform taking like the caps, app stores and Roblox itself taking the money after the kid purchases Robux. Oh, and another thing I was gonna ask in terms of that, does like localization affect it? Because I remember buying Robux for very cheap in Turkey, and like I'm guessing the same prices, like the same type of localizations are also in like Argentina and stuff. And like, does those affect the final like cut at all, or like does just Roblox fill in the gaps? Roblox, the company, fill in the gaps.
That's a good question. From my understanding, they fill in the gaps, and then basically, I think it's the same price, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure how it goes.
Thank you. We'll take more questions from
you can ask more
after the session.
Yeah.
All right. One thing, especially like also related to the asset store or asset kind of bank there, like is there like being so dependent on the platform, but there's also being dependent potentially on the creators that you don't know who they are and how they made those things. Do you avoid using the assets, or do you have like sort of like plan B if an asset, for instance, is pulled back?
Okay, it cannot be really pulled back when it's there, so it kind of that's not that kind of worry for us. But we don't use other creators' assets usually. That we have a 3D modeler in our team, and they can build everything. So we've chosen not to stay away from the toolbox and the asset library just so we can be sure that it's our stuff and there's nobody ever gonna like try to, I don't know, copyright or anything like that.
Yeah. In other words, also like the just making games inside with all the tools and all the users there. How do you like prepare yourself for potential changes in the platform? Is that constantly in your back, or how do you think about that?
It's not constantly in the back of our mind. It's like I don't see that it's happening like that drastically. That the changes are not like usually changing like drastically or something like that. We can usually align and or they'll announce that if there's a change coming, they announce it in advance. And usually it's just an improvement of like there was something was buggy or something was inefficient. They introduce a new, better way of doing something. So it's like usually being like this. So we can just take the update and be happy. No, not always, but most of the time it's a good update.
Try to accommodate that.
Yeah.
Was there another question? There's one in the back. A future panelist for today.
Woohoo! Thank you. You're not the only one who plays Roblox, by the way. So yeah, I also do sometimes. One question. I guess this is more about, because as you said, Roblox kind of owns the Gen A and Gen Z. There are 380 million monthly active players. They make 4 billion of revenue each year. They have an average revenue per paying user, which is about $40. So I think also, as you said about the paying power of this group is actually quite high, considering that 65%-ish of their revenue comes from people under 18. So why, in your opinion, because I know there are multiple great opinions to this, why isn't Roblox profitable?
That's a good question.
Big question, yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Why isn't anything profitable these days? Feels like.
Yeah. I guess like it costs a lot to run that kind of business, of course, like to host everything, and then they have to invest a lot of the money all the time to make it better, and then keep up with the competition. That's now they of course invest in AI stuff as well because it's growing trend. So they have to be in that game as well. So they put a lot of money in the investment. And then, of course, one part is that they still haven't really gotten rid of this payment processing fees, which is quite high in terms of how the cost distributes. And then they want us developers get paid, and they want us get paid better, because then if we are getting paid, we can invest money in making more and bigger games and more ambitions and monetize them better. And I think there are like, it's just like not profitable yet, but I hope to see that it will be in 5 to 10 years when buying power increases, the game loops get better and game monetization gets better, and they don't have to necessarily have physical infrastructure investment that much anymore. So, and yeah, maybe they need to make the company leaner.
We're running out of time. There's more questions. There's so much pressure towards Olli to answer all the Roblox questions, but I'm going to put another pressure. So we know the controversy around Roblox and also like all sorts of platforms that have high amount of young kids playing there. How do you personally, as a developer, tackle these issues or kind of navigate through the controversies and the issues with the platform?
Yeah, that's a good question. So. Like I can just add to that, like of course Roblox, as it's mainly kids and teenagers who play, it will attract also bad actors, and 150 million daily active users has all kind of people in there. So that's of course unfortunately that it happens, but we try to make content that is safe and has like we have good intentions, and we work with brands who want their experiences to be places that parents can be like sure that these are good games to play on the platform. And then of course we have like moderation in the live events and this kind of stuff that we make sure we don't have chats on, for example, in most of our client projects because they don't want to take a risk. But yeah, we battle through those actions, and then with our own game, it's like, of course, we are responsible of our own player base, but for now we don't have a successful game yet, so there's no players, no issues. So when it happens, we will of course pay more close attention to our player base and what's happening there, and that like we try to be the better ones in the platform on these terms.
So many things to cover. Thank
Yes.
you, Olli, for being here and giving us an insight to this massive platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.